Hi guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about forecasting COVID-19 and looking at the COVID-19 data in terms of cases and deaths and looking at the trends in that data. One of the issues I found is that a lot of the data being reported on the internet is just the actual deaths or the actual cases and how that actually historically has been increasing in terms of number over time. But I haven't really seen any analytics in terms of the growth percentages or analytics in terms of the growth paths. Now, the statistically minded amongst you may say, well, there's just not enough data observations or case observations daily in order to do a proper forecast. And the other issue some analysts would raise is that the information, the time horizon has been kind of like too short to make accurate predictions. So what I did is I actually was able to do the projections based on using a regression model using Power BI. And also, I would have looked at the growth rates from inception on a daily basis and built a model for that in Power BI. So this is how the model would work. Now, you may have gotten a link from me. If you go to my website, I've loaded it on aaa-bsol.com/Power BI samples. So that'll be this website here. If you go to that link, the first chart is the one that you would see here in that section. It may take a minute or so to load. But what you would do, the chart is small here, just click on the expansion button in the bottom right hand corner for that chart. It would put you into full screen mode. So the chart will fill up the screen. So what you would see here is there are actually 4 sets of charts. The first chart actually looks at actual COVID-19 cases from inception up to yesterday. The data is up to date up to yesterday. Even though it says April 9th here, that data would have been cases up to the April 8th. So if you look at the chart here, once you have on the chart, it would actually show you what the cumulative cases were or the total cases as at that particular date. In this case, I started the time horizon from the 1st of March. And then as you move along the chart, you would see the number of cases increasing significantly. I use Power BI to generate the forecast, and it uses standard regression analysis to actually generate that. So if you look by the end of April, the forecasted number of cases on average should be like around 3.2 million worldwide. Unfortunately, today, which is the 9th, which is based on yesterday's data, the number of cases is actually 1.5 million or thereabouts. If we wanted to look at the cases for a specific country and the forecast, because these figures here are global, we could actually go to the slicer to the right where it says pick country and then choose the country we're interested in. So you could actually choose, in our case, probably Trinidad and Tobago. This is how the cases would have started off with just like one case on the 13th of March. And then where the blue line stops means that this will be the end of the actual cases. It went up to 107 cases. And by the end of the month, that is projected to go up to 206 cases. Or thereabouts, between 146 to 267. It's very difficult to predict, given that we have this short time horizon. The gray area here represents the upper and the lower confidence limits in terms of the accuracy of the forecast. So by the end of April, the cases would have risen to probably somewhere between 146 and 206, 267, sorry, and the average forecast it would probably be more like 206. If we want to look at the deaths, we could similarly do the same thing, but before I do that, what I want to show you is the dates bar at the top. If we actually drag this bar back, the time horizon will change. For Trinidad, it started March 13, but if I choose a country, like let's say I chose China, or maybe the US would be a good example. So if I choose United States of America, if we look here, there were no cases like until about the 24th of Jan, 22nd, 23rd of Jan, and then look at the phenomenal rise in cases to about 430,000 by the 9th of April. And those cases projected to increase to 829,000 by the end of April. So more than double, assuming the current growth path continues. Similarly, you would see the case with deaths. In terms of the number of deaths in the US, it actually reached something like 14,817 up to yesterday, and that is projected to go up to about 27,000 by the end of April, thereabouts. Again, like I said, if we drag the bar here for the dates, the time horizon is going to change in terms of looking at the historical data. So here, if I have it at the 3rd or the 1st, this is the 1st of March, we see the time axis changes to look at it. The second sheet that we have here, if you want to take off the filter from any particular country, we could just go back to that country and click here. And now the figures you look at would be the global figures for COVID-19. The second chart, if we go to the bottom, there's this little button, is actually a map, a 2D map, and it would actually give you the latest figures for deaths and for the cumulative number of cases to date. You could also choose to pick a particular day and look at the deaths or the cases, which areas actually had cases. So if we go back to the 22nd of Jan, North America, in America, they had one recorded case here. China had about 526 reported cases. And if we take that off, that would show us cumulatively what the number of cases are. The big case areas would be right now would be in Spain and also Italy. The other thing I would have done was to look at the percentage daily growth rates versus the number of cases. So one of the things this is one of the things I did not see being done in a lot of these statistics. So basically what we observe is happening is that globally there is a downward trend in terms of the rate of growth for COVID-19. So it's increasing, but increasing at a decreasing rate basically. There was a slight raise here to 6.1% globally. The day before it would have been 5.7% daily growth. And what I did was a table to show you that cumulative cases, what the cases was the day before, what the change amount is, and the percentage change. And you could use this to look at for any territory as well. So for example, if we take our local case like Trinidad and Tobago, we could click here and now we see what the trend is. So basically we are up to 107 cases here, with 8 deaths, and the growth rate is very low in terms of cases. So the day before we had a 1.9% growth. We had no change maybe between here and here. So Trinidad is in a fairly good position if you look at the percentage changes. The fourth table would actually, and the fourth chart would actually give you the growth in deaths globally, and also the percentage change in death rate. So this has been kind of varying kind of widely. Up to yes, it was like 7.8%. The day before it would have been 10%. But the general trend now is globally is like a downward trend more or less. And we could look at the growth in the number of deaths by looking at, we could look at it for any country by going here and just choosing the country. And then looking at the rate. So like for the US, if we looked at it, we would see here that the rate now, rate of growth, daily rate of growth is at 14.9%, which is still relatively high. So, but it is, the general trend is a downward trend in terms of growth rates. There would have been a time when it would have been growing at 31% and such high rates, and then it went down to about 28%, and now it's down to like 15%. So the number of cases increasing, but at a decreasing rate, but it's still a worrisome situation. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Right, I will update this on a daily basis as long as I could get the data. The data for this came from the European CDC, Center for Disease Prevention. So I would have taken their data dump, which they do a daily data dump on a cumulative basis, which is like thousands and thousands of rows of data. And what I did, it basically just summarizes that into a report.